Live from New York. It's a show that is still coming back. Don't.
Oh, buddy, I already knew where you were going.
Again?
Oh, buddy. Well,
don't send them
there's
over
not
here.
many left, I got to tell you. I might have developed a bit
You
of
like
Oh! We are back. You want to hit?
No.
It was a nice while it lasted.
I had a
I'm
headache
done.
for 12 hours.
Did you?
There were 10 in here. We've got one
I don't even
unpopped.
think they're the strongest ones.
No, these are only 15s. I'm working my way up.
Yeah, they go up to what, 75?
Well, I think that's if you're unconscious.
75.
But
You had a headache?
now it's on your fingers. It leaks.
It smells like a pool.
Wow.
I told you.
Man, let's get to swimming.
I told you.
So stupid.
We're starting with the Cincy showcase, at least on the offensive end. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, both suited up for Cincy's first preseason game. I thought the 2-touchdown performance, pretty impressive. Joe Burrow disagreed. Okay. Now we're swinging the pendulum too far.
I like that.
Yeah.
2 drives, 16
He's
snaps.
a perfectionist.
9 for 10, 123 yards, and 2 touchdowns, obviously no interceptions. Prior to this game, he had 8 preseason passes in his whole NFL
Oh, I
career.
misread that. I thought it said possessions. 8 passes.
8
is
passes
crazy.
ever.
Yeah. Okay.
So last night he really played. How should Bengals feel about last night?
They should feel a taste of deja vu.
Thank you.
Right? There is one significant difference, and I like the fact that they're playing the starters. He looked great, Burrow, Chase Brown, the running back, all that. But that, we know, that's not the issue. And I have no problem, by the way, with the way Burrow handled it. I don't think he was being, cute.
Too cool for school?
Yeah, I think he was just, he looks at it differently than we do, the lay people. And he said he's not spinning it. He wasn't spinning it. He was just getting it there. But anyway, the problem was the defense.
You don't say.
It was their first team defense. I get it. No Trey Hendrickson, even Shamar Stewart, who looked good, played with the second team, so he wasn't out with the first team. Taylor Britt, a couple other guys missing. But that was, for now, their best defense, and most of those guys on the field were their first team. And the Eagles reserved marched down the field on them.
Yeah.
Scored 10 points. Here's the first one. Will Shipley look like he's going to challenge Saquon Barkley for the starting job? First of all, he's untouched.
Yeah.
Like, what in the world? This is their backups.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Tanner McKee. I mean, Tanner McKee threw for 250 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean,
Don't forget the tush push that Wilds told us only
just
Jalen
ran
Hurts
right
can
over
do.
him in the tush push. Right. So this is the problem, and it looks like it's going. Now I do think they'll get out to the good start, and I'm leaning. Now I am leaning them over Steelers. Leaning.
Wow.
There we go.
In the playoffs,
so we
because I
got
think
there.
they're good enough to make the playoffs. But the problem is you're not getting through the Chiefs. I don't think the Ravens and these other Bills teams in the AFC with that type of defense.
So I agree with everything Bruce said except for the very end. I don't think I'll pick them to make the playoffs. It's what I've said, and I know it can be a long off season, and it's can be a long off season topic-wise on certain things when my opinion is unmoved. But why would I think this year's Bengals will be different than last year's Bengals? No one has explained it to me other than Lou Anarumo was actively working against them, which he wasn't. And so even if you get a slight upgrade there, I think it is now fair to say whatever they get from Trey Hendrickson isn't going to be the sack leader. I would have been surprised if he had done that if they had gotten him signed 3 months ago and he was in camp. I think it's even less likely when he's out. This same old story. Of course the offense is awesome. They have a great quarterback, a great receiver, and a great receiver too.
Yeah.
Of course, it's where they have spent all their money. They have drafted well, they've drafted high and drafted well. But and again, I'm not trying to make too much of a preseason game, but I guess if it confirms my priors of what do you think the Bengals are going to look like? Super prolific offense that has trouble stopping people. And I know now the Philly media and fan cabal is trying to convince us, well, actually, it's because Tanner McKee. Oh, how he did it again.
Yeah, they
maybe.
do love Tanner
I mean,
McKee.
listen, maybe. The folks that are like, how list of teams Tanner McKee would start for right now. Most of them. I mean, my answer to that list is definitely one, maybe two or three.
Indianapolis?
No, definitely the Saints, and then there would be a couple other possibles. Indy would be a possible. Yeah. I'm open to that as a possible, but I don't think Tanner McKee is man, future franchise quarterback, but he sure looked like one last night. And that to me was more of the reason for Joe Burrow's post-game disposition.
That's right.
And
I buy that.
Because he can't, if he is not thrilled with the game, it's a bad look for him to be like, well, the offense was awesome.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? So instead, if he's not thrilled with the game, he needs to make it about that he could have been better. I was fine.
Yeah, it was 9 for 10.
It was 9, right. I missed
it would have been interesting. I mean, he's obviously their team leader. And I'm not saying he should have done this. It just would have been interesting had he gone out there and been like, we got to get our defense together.
You want to do that away?
I'm just saying, I'm just putting it on the board. You're the team leader, and it would kind of be more of a message to ownership we got to stop some people.
Or do you want to go out and make an aggressive trade offer for somebody,
or just bring in your guy?
That's true, too.
You know what I mean? They don't have to trade me one.
That I think would be fair. We need our full team out there if we have a chance at winning.
Yeah, maybe could admit
that doesn't feel.
We need Trey. Yeah. We need Trey.
Be done.
Yeah.
You saw what the defense looked like. We need Trey.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. We didn't see much of Anthony Richardson last night because Anthony Richardson didn't see much of the Ravens defense. 7 minutes left in the first quarter. He gets flattened, ends up dislocating his pinky. He's okay, but did leave the game. As reports are, he might even practice on Saturday. They popped his pinky back in. Your reaction?
Well, it's very rare that we get unanimity on Twitter, but it is unanimously agreed upon by former pros that was on him. That wasn't the running back missed an assignment, that he has to read who's hot, recognize they've got 5 to block 6, and get it out. And that is a rookie mistake. It's a mistake you wish a guy wasn't making in year 3 training camp. It is a singular mistake. But I think it's a shame that we didn't get to see more of him because I know we got in an argument about it yesterday. I don't mean to. I feel we know who Daniel Jones is right now. We might not know who he's going to be in 3 years, but there is because Baker moved on from his first team, then had a year plus in the wilderness, and then came out better. Geno moved on from
Baker looked good earlier.
I agree, right? Yeah, and Geno had years in the wilderness. Darnold had a couple years in the wilderness, then came out on the other side.
This is Jones' wilderness era?
Yes. That's what I think. I think that
that's at best.
At best. The optimistic viewing of it is, and I have to be open to it because while I always believed in Baker, and I probably believed in Geno a little more than most early, I never believed in Darnold. And Darnold had this great season. But the argument that was being made for Daniel Jones yesterday, I actually felt is an Anthony Richardson argument, which is don't give up on the young guy you draft high until you give him a full showing. And so that's why this is a shame to me, because he needs to play, and he needs to play more. I think at this moment, Daniel Jones is a known quantity.
See, here's the thing, and I think this is partially why Indianapolis is at least on the cusp of giving up on him.
Souring.
Right.
Yes.
Because I think the reason he hasn't been able to stay healthy, he's played 15 games in 2 years, is some of it he's a running quarterback, so that could open you up to more hits. But some of it are plays like that where he wasn't processing. Yeah. And he's in your 3rd year, you should not make that mistake. Right? Yep. And so I think that opens him up to more injuries too. Once he gets healthy and he's back out there, he may miss another read and get clocked, and then he's injured again. And so I think that's a problem. Secondly, kind of piggybacking on what you said, Nick, when he's healthy, he should start. Because Daniel Jones, what is this, his sixth season? Fifth, sixth season?
No, he had his full, it's his 6th year.
You go out there against some backups and you don't even complete half of your passes? No touch, like a 70 passer rating? That's inexcusable. I would be bothered by that if it were a rookie. Yeah. 10 for 21, 70 passer rating. But for a veteran who's won a playoff game to do that against some backups in the preseason, that's not good.
This is his 7th year. Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, because he did his rookie contract and then had the extension with the Giants.
Yeah, there's no excuse for him to go out there and go 48% of his passes.
So here's the challenge. Daniel Jones completed 48%, and this is lowest completion percentage in the last 20 years. That Anthony Richardson, this is his hill that he has to climb. Yeah. It was 11 Tebow, 24 Anthony Richardson, Derek Anderson.
We get that, but at least there's some upside with Richardson. And as Nick said yesterday, they're 8-7 with him.
So can I listen? Can I push back on the completion percentage thing? Because sure. Last year he had the lowest completion percentage, second lowest you're showing in NFL history or modern, whatever the stat you just showed
20
was.
years.
20 years. He also was number 1 in the entire league in yards per completion. And so the point, those two, he is.
We didn't complete a lot of passes,
well,
but they were long. He had a few long bombs.
But it was more than a few. But I agree. The point. So here's what I think is why I just think it's premature to give up on him for what to me is currently a known below average quantity in Daniel Jones. Here's the first, and I'm not saying he's turning into this player. Here is the first 15 games for Josh Allen versus Anthony Richardson. 8-7. Josh, again, 55 versus 51. The yards per game, Josh has him. The touchdown to interceptions is Anthony has him by a ratio. The passer rating is almost identical. They're both rushing threats. A guy, Wilds, that you desperately want to believe in from his draft class. Here's their first 15 starts. Now you can say 60% completion is better than 50, but if you're getting 5.5 yards versus 7, they cancel each other out. The yards per attempt are the same. I'm sorry, the touchdown interception ratio is close to the same, and one guy has 10 rushing touchdowns, 0.
I believe Bryce was benched in probably game.
Yeah, Anthony's been benched. Yeah. And Bryce had, a nice, a great 3 games at the end of the year.
I don't think you can give up on him, but it's interesting to watch him learn in real time.
Yeah.
You're early on, I'm literally throwing myself into danger. He's like, I can't do that anymore. I took myself out of the game, realized I can't do that anymore. And here it's like, now I know. So I do think he's only going to make these bad decisions once.
You would hope.
I don't know about once. Yeah.
But I don't think he were ever.
You don't think he could do that again?
Then I think that's part of the problem.
I think that's part of the problem.
I think that is.
I don't think that will. I think we'll always know to head on a swivel a little bit better.
I'm just saying I think that's a challenge for him, and I will be with you. It's disappointing that Daniel Jones hasn't come out and just wiped the floor with Anthony Richardson in training camp. That's the thing. Yeah, it should be his job. Yeah. Period.
They wanted Daniel Jones to win this job. Yeah, they can say they didn't, but they paid him like they did. They brought him in. Daniel Jones was, whether they were going to admit it or not, started the offseason ahead. And the reason that they had the or on the depth chart was not, sadly, because Anthony Richardson was just cooking. It was because Daniel Jones has been disappointing by what they expected. Yep. And so and some of this has been Anthony, some of the getting hurt and getting lit up has been him. But I also was watching the game. A game where he got annihilated and it missed only a few plays. They put him back in, and the first play they ran was a designed quarterback run. And so some of that has been, not recognizing your own player and not protecting him as a immature football experience-wise young quarterback. And so, again, he's probably not going to work out. But there's the upside that you drafted him for, he has shown enough flashes of that the alternative is Daniel Jones.
I might have come around on that. I might have come around.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.